All right, let's take a look at this replay submitted on the Discord. This is from one of our viewers. I believe we are actually the red player. So the Sabertooth spec looks really good. And that is what he goes for. So we're going to have to look at it from this angle. Okay. So the placement of the storms seem pretty good, because now I used to put them sometimes on the side, but the problem is if the enemy puts a storm here, it can still snipe it even if you have the storms here. And I do see that they're 2 squares forward. That does sound pretty smart. It's interesting to see the crawlers in this position. I've actually never put it here. I've always put it like directly behind the tower, but I feel like it's almost better maybe in the middle, because the crawlers here get pulled by something on the flank. If they're in the middle, then they don't go to the flank. But now I've started to put my crawlers directly behind the tower, so I think it's good. The middle tower, the middle crawler so far forward is quite interesting. I've never actually put the crawler there. I always thought it was better to put it in the back, but maybe this is better because when we do the fire, like at least the crawlers go forward. Like the back crawlers, if they go forward, and they kind of just die directly to the fire. So maybe this actually is a pretty good idea. Obviously, the positioning of the storm crawler and the crawler had some problem, because that one crawler pushed up the storm crawler, and it just kind of killed it. So, all right, so skip on both. Yeah, like the hound here. I mean, the hound cannot be like, I think, directly behind this. Otherwise, it's just going to push this guy ahead. Now we see the phantom rays. I think this is a good position for the phantom rays, directly behind the crawler. What is the opponent doing here? There's like 3 wasps in front. This is just I think this is very bad. Like, this must be a throw. Plus, he doesn't have any technologies like ignite, jump drive, high explosive. The most important technology is anti-air for the wasp. He doesn't have it, which, yeah. And I don't know why you would put, I mean, I guess he's going jump drive automatically next, but I think this is just way too, like, I don't know if this is going to work, but I've never seen anyone do this. Like, not even one wasp in the front like that. So it looks like we lose because there's the wasps were just too much this round. All right, so we are this player here. All right, I guess just get something and sell it maybe. Like, or maybe go for the double rhino, start selling out of that because you get more money from it. Fangs are interesting, especially because there's wasps everywhere. I guess it does give us chaff. Putting it in front like that seems to be really smart. Quite often I would kind of like, I see most people with the fangs, I always just tend to put them vertically. All right, so he moves his things over. You know, usually you kind of would move them more than just here, but all right. Yeah, and also putting the 2 fangs together so close, I'm not sure if that's such a good idea. Like, I would split them out more, just because a missile here still kills everything. Like, if he puts a missile here, you lose everything, including the storms. If you have them like vertically, like more spread out, then you only lose 1 pack of fangs. So the fangs are also there to be kind of like anti-missile. But I do like the positioning of the fangs in front, because they are actually doing a lot. And even if the fire was going to come down, the fangs are like not going to die right away. Like, they're going to still tank. They're going to act as chaff. So overall, I think the fangs were a pretty good choice, especially into the wasps. It kind of really can really help with this wasp problem. But the wasp is never going to be a problem because he doesn't have the anti-air. Plus, like, he's already clicked jump drive, which is not something you want for like a carry wasp. Like, if you're gonna go carry Phantom Ray, you're definitely not scared of like wasp that has clicked jump drive. I think yeah, skip. I would think I would just skip there. Maybe the Rhino Assault is good to put like in the corner or something, but I don't know. I think just sell. So yep, more Phantom Rays. I think that is the correct technique here. There's nothing that we're worried about. Even if the Wasps level up, I think it's still okay to go more Phantom Rays. So going more Phantom Rays. No technology, I think, quite yet. The armor enhancement is unusual. I would definitely go shield instead of the armor enhancement. The shield is the most important technology on the Phantom Ray by far. It's more important than anything else. So like the shield is usually what I click first. So and the armor is I don't think the armor is useful in 95% of the situations. If you're running the oil, you're gonna ignite the stuff that can do stuff like for the armor. So Mustang with anti-air. Not so sure. I guess it's fine here. Like, I guess it kind of makes sense. I mean, it's probably better than range because do you really want to like double tech your Mustangs before even single teching your Phantom Rays, which are your main carry unit? So, yeah, that actually does seem smart. The only problem, of course, is like the rhinos that have armor. So now these rhinos, they don't even have armor. So I guess it's not really of a threat, but most of the time the rhinos would have armor, and if they're like too far in front of the wasps, then they can tank all your Mustangs and just render your Mustangs ineffective. So usually it's not a good idea, but I've never seen anyone not run armor on the rhinos, so it's very unusual. It's also very unusual to see the whirlwind technology. Like I don't think I've ever played anyone that's gone into like rhinos like this. A missile strike obviously is good for the money. Probably don't want to strike the wasps because they move around. Probably just go for one of the chaff or for one of the tanks. I mean, might just be worth it to just put it here just in case the enemy doesn't do anything. Okay, he does, but he's still gonna kind of like walk into this. Yeah, I won't even shield for this. Like we're not really super worried. It's interesting that he wants to attack here. He should really be attacking here if this is like, if he's going to keep staying on this one side. So now we see bursts on the Phantom Ray. Yeah, I mean, shield is the most important technology, but you have nothing really to threaten your Phantom Rays except for the Wasps. The Wasps are super minimal right now. They're not even close to being a threat. So the burst actually makes sense because now they'll one-shot the rhinos. The burst doesn't do much to the sledge, and it makes chaff clear worse, so it's going to be worse into the Mustangs. Range first on the Mustangs. All right, I guess. I mean, they're storms. Yeah, see, like that was a very bad attempted dodge. I could see the Mustangs maybe becoming more of a threat if they level up and they click the aerial spec. But then you have armor, so I don't know why he... I mean, I guess... Yeah, I don't exactly know why he would go Mustangs here. Mustangs don't really do a lot for him. Because, you do have the armor technology. So Melting Point and Marksman. Obviously, the Marksman is a great option. Melting Point. Yeah, usually I would just sell the Melting Point. You have no, like... Okay, there we go. It's sold. Yeah, this is starting to get good. This is a good response. But you do need the aerial spec on the Marksman. I've never seen Marksman without aerial spec before. All right, War Factory, I guess, to end the game. Not super bad. Pretty good idea, but always click on the... I always try to have enough money for the armor, because that's like a huge difference in how you survive. I don't feel like you really need to go War Factory now, but I guess now that you're just going Marksman, these are a pretty credible threat, and you don't have any shield. It may actually be good to go for the War Factory because yeah, you might actually die to this. You might actually die to the Marksman. Alright, so factory dies. And now gonna have a little bit of a hard time doing chaff clear. The only thing that's clearing chaff is you still have units here, you still have units here. But the Phantom Rays definitely aren't really clearing chaff. They're acting as like tanks. And they do almost all die here, which shows how good the enemy composition is. And this is after having a War Factory. Right, so now we're losing 200 resources per round for efficient maintenance. Skip. I guess Missile Strike would have been good, you know, for 50. You know, you could just pretty much put it anywhere here, forces them to make a shield. Instead... Wait, where's the Vulcans? Okay, that's the enemy. The enemy goes Vulcan airdrop. I guess he's probably going to put an oil down or something. Why would he put it there? Alright, so we got the tank snipe. But I feel like the tank snipe, this needs to go forward by 1 square, no? Like, if it's here, then the crawlers move forward. It's like, I don't think it's going to actually hit the... I don't think it's actually going to aim here. I've only... The times where I've seen it work, it has to be on the line, I feel. So we sell it, and we get a level 1 War Factory. That's interesting. I don't know why you... Okay, because I guess he's getting the melter and putting it here. So, okay. That's a pretty good idea. Now, that's the enemy armor. Wait, that's our... Yeah, that's our oil. And we put the fire down. No oil needed on the Phantom Ray. Now the Phantom Ray is just going to start doing pretty well into the melting points. You're finally getting a target that the burst is actually like efficient into, like the Rhino, the melting point. Those are amazing. You know, to have. So a couple missiles down. I guess that's from our side. It's not going to hit anything because of the shield. Well, it does clear out a little bit of chaff. All right, so the fire comes down, and what got the what got that? Was that the War Factory, or was that the Storm Crawlers? I guess it was the War Factory, right? Okay, let's see. Let's see how we end up here. Looks like we can win this. Man, he doesn't have that much left. There's still some chaff. The fangs actually are really good. They're doing so much. You know, this fang chaff is doing so much. Yeah, I have to keep in mind that like we can go fangs now in front as a form of chaff. All right. Yeah, well done. You know, like the Mustang was obviously useful. I think now looking at it, I mean, we would have had a hard time going into the Wasps. Wasp with Ignite is interesting. Never seen that technology. And 2 melting points on the line. That's kind of crazy. Like usually you put the melting points a little bit further behind, because even if he had the level 2 War Factory here, I think... Well, no, I do think it might die, but it's close. Like the War Factory might even kill the melting point, but you know, if there's like no more chaff. So usually the melting point's a little bit further behind. Usually they put 2. They'll put 1 here, like just in case you change position. But yeah, quite smart to change position there. Yeah, I mean that was a nice switcheroo. It forces him to invest so much in the melting points, which probably aren't too useful. Yeah, the forward crawler is pretty interesting. I do like it now. I think it actually does something. Like it's in front of the Phantom Rays. Like I was putting all my crawlers all the way back, but now I'm thinking, hey, you know what? Maybe this is a better position because it doesn't exactly die to the fire as quickly. Like it actually acts as chaff. And again, the fangs in front, I really like this. Except for maybe spread out a little bit more and like vertical. I'll definitely like yeah, you know, I'll definitely try this. Um Hounds, yeah, you know, you just got fire, you didn't even use the ray oil. You know, it's just like the lighting the fire trick. It makes a lot of sense. The opponent was very vulnerable to it. And yeah, you I don't think you get elite marksman. Well, I guess since he has three of them, maybe it's worth it. But yeah, you usually it's AA spec, but elite marksman I don't think does anything to the level 1 units. I mean, besides the 5 range and 25%. But yeah, for the marks for the level 3 marksman, maybe this was a good choice. Yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty well done. It wasn't a ray oil game. It was just like a ray burst game, and the burst, yeah, wasn't a bad idea. But you know, you can almost go stealth cloak as well, like because if it's just like the rhino, like the stealth cloak also does 40% extra damage. The burst does 100% extra damage. But the stealth cloak, you don't lose the chaff clear ability. The chaff clear ability is still as good as without the burst mode. With burst mode, obviously, you do worse against chaff, and that's a huge problem. Like that's why I think the previous round, like the Phantom Rays got killed, almost all of them. And I would definitely run shield because now once you see all the marksmen and you click shield, like your Phantom Rays will basically live forever. They're not afraid of it. I would just replace the armor with the shield. But then again, you know, maybe at this, if your opponents are like just kind of doing this, then, you know, maybe if they're just doing Mustangs with range, then maybe the armor is better. But for me, I never see like the opponent is never really trying to kill me with Mustangs. And if they are, then I just click the oil. Yeah, and then usually when I go for the War Factory, I try to have 200 for the for that. I noticed you didn't borrow on the last round. Not sure if you borrowed on the round before, but it's definitely worth borrowing. Borrowing. Like if you managed to borrow or somehow had the money for the armor enhancement, like the previous round, like you might have been able to just win right then and there. Instead, you give the enemy an opportunity to come out with the melting points, which, you know, if he placed them in the right position behind some chaff, then you could have lost this and maybe the opponent would have had an ability to come back, and we never want to give the enemy like an option to come back. So, all right. Well, hey, thanks for sending the video, and yeah, hope you enjoyed watching this review. See you in the next one.